Welcome to James Hates Everything, and today we find ourselves down in the arcade for a live build of the Arcade1up's newest contraption, the Claw Machine. Of course, we have talked a ton about this Claw Machine for ever since it was first leaked, and we've talked about the benefits, we've talked about the problems, of which there seem to be many. So today we are going to build this together, dive in to all aspects of this claw machine, answer your questions. Hopefully we get them all answered, and we will get this thing together and start playing with it. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I know many of you showed up already, but due to this setup, I've got computers and cameras all over the place. So I will be looking at the chat on another screen, so it'll be a little bit delayed. So you'll have to apologize, or I will have to apologize, not you. You'll have to bear with me, and I'll apologize for being a little delayed in the chat. Also, since I don't have anybody hosting tonight, I'm trying to pull double duty, so I might be, struggling with some ridiculous piece of this claw machine. So let's bring in the other view here real quick. And again, I thank everybody for being here. I see the Cornercade has jumped in. We got Pogsham, Kevin Clausen, TMC. I saw Penny Arcade was in the chat. MG, Matt Swandle, Jim the Pacers fan, Fathog13, Harley K is easier to pronounce. So thanks everybody, really appreciate it. So what I want to do first is just show a few things before we actually get started building. So, try to keep my gut out of the picture. But first up, we have the manual. I have not opened this. Well, I have unboxed everything and laid it out to make assembly a little easier. I thought it was interesting because we have a few extra pieces in here in this manual that is not typical. I also know there's been some questions around what is in the manual, maybe parts lists, things like that. So we're going to try to answer some of those, and hopefully everybody is hearing me. I think so. All my tests seem good. So first, you got this same junk you always have, like manuals in 15 languages. We now have this fancy little card, which I don't think I've seen before, which also cross-sells a matching stool. So, hat tip to Arcade1up to actually learning how to plug other cabs and other products. So, taking advantage of that upsell. So that's actually nice. Though I will say that some of this feels embossed, which seems like a waste of money, but it is nice full color. Okay, the manual, typical Arcade1up manual. I'm just going to flip through it because there was questions. Was there a parts list in order to order replacement parts? So you can see I'm just going to show some of these pages to you. There's some of the pieces, the building. I'll just flip through them. You can always pause these after the fact. I think one of the things you'll find interesting is this new way they do the marquee, if you haven't seen that, because it is different, which will make it super easy, I think, to customize. Let's see. So as you can see, not a lot of info. I did not see a parts list. I don't need to sit here and go through every page with you. This is kind of at the back, a bunch of warnings. And then just basic assembly like normal. So no reorder parts list. And the warning is about children have died from furniture products falling on them. So basic furniture warning. So nothing real exciting there. Now we've got a little thing. This is for our combination lock on the side of the cab, right, to keep little kids out. And it appears to be adhesive, so I'm going to leave it on there. So you must be able to install this so you don't lose it. It looks like it's got a little doohickey in here, a key in order to change the sensitivity. So that's something new. Actually, the key might be, looking at this, yeah, the key is how to set the password. So interesting. But it also doubles, as you see on the back, to change the setting. So interesting little addition. Again, it comes in this little sleeve so you can attach it to your claw machine and not lose it. And it looks like Kevin Clausen dropped a $2 super chat in the window. And let's see what Kevin says here. Says, James, tell us the combination lock code. Well, when I get there, I'll be happy to, because the odds are of you coming over here and using it are 0. And just for that, you know how we do. And because I know he just might be watching from afar, we've got to celebrate this super chat with a... So thank you very much, Kevin Clausen. And again, hello to everybody joining us a little late. So before we get to building, I got one more thing I want to show you. We could come to this later, but I think it was interesting. I don't want to avoid it. And of course, that is our marquee. You notice we still do not have the protective case off, but you might already be able to tell what I'm talking about, and that is we have plexi and more plexi, and our marquee is just a reverse printed Mylar sheet, right? So you don't have to worry about getting a new plexi that's reverse printed. You can just simply get a new Mylar, which is much, much cheaper to print if you want to change the marquee on this cab. So it's interesting because you'll see my Akari Warriors back here. That's actually how I did the marquee on my Akari Warriors, so that it would be easier to change the game lineup in the future. And there you go, easier and cheaper, I should say. So probably much less expensive for Arcade1up to do the marquee like that, as opposed to a high quality reverse printed marquee. But again, positives and negatives. It is a cheaper marquee, but it makes it easier to switch it out, because let's face it, it's pretty ugly design with the black and the blue lines. It's okay, but it's not necessarily a fun, festive design. So let's just get to it. I see P-Dub says this is going to be a disaster, must-see TV. Excellent. Jason, appreciate you stopping by. And we've got all of our fun tools laid out. Now we just need to find the pieces, right? So where are we? Let the disaster begin, because I'm already missing a piece. All right, where are you? In one. I put things all over the place just so I can't find them. Okay, here we go. In one. Lots of lights on here. It's got Arcade1up plugs on the back. So you'll find like some of these things are definitely different. A lot of different hookups. You can see the kind of lights on the front. Those are, I'm assuming these are the sensors for the prize drop based on the look of it. And so entertain yourselves while I screw. And I know this is tons of fun and hopefully won't take all night, but you never know. New design, new phone, who dis? All right, enough of that. It does not bode well when you have big ass sausage fingers. All right, now we got to get us some of these fun pegs. And appreciate the kind words, Manuel. Put that in there. Now, where's our into? And no, I didn't alphabetize my pieces. Just stuck them wherever. Alrighty, and M2, we're just doing some pegs. These appear all to be pieces to our prize area. Next up is our springy pad. So if you guys want to take a closer look, here is our little nylon pad. As you can see, it is just screwed on the bottom. So if you wanted to replace this, should be fairly easy to just unscrew, put together. You can see it kind of divots there. So not much to that. It shows, it's the color's not showing up that great. Maybe it's better over here. So the inside of the prize box is all this dark purple. Even the insides of the doors and other pieces, all a purple color for some reason. And so we need another one of these. And a couple of screws. And with that in place, we got 4 pegs. And then that is done. And then now it wants me to peg. Insert pegs. Doesn't want me to peg anything, wants me to insert pegs. Looks like we got a hole here. Move this here so it's a little easier to see what I am doing, hopefully. Allegedly, maybe the camera's in the weird spot, so maybe not. Okay. Here I will you don't need the zoomed in view while I do this. And Kevin says pegging isn't new for me, but it is for Disney. Quote from Deadpool. Indeed. Indeed, indeed. All right, so now we need our B screws, our lovely, lovely B screws. Knocking things around. And appears it just goes like that. No Loctite. Alrighty. Next up is the L piece. And that is bit. Just dropped my balls. Pun intended. Here we go. Looks like a couple more of the B screws. All right, with our prize box essentially together, we are going to mount it. These assembly instructions are kind of pervy. There we go. Let's make sure the camera's at a better angle showing. I know, Danny, you're not going to believe this, but I'm doing this without baseball gloves. All right, next up, more of these doohickeys. Looks like they want it like that. And then we're going to grab K. Yep, Sergeant setting up the new claw machine, and yes, indeed, Thumper Squid, I screw everything, but it's usually followed by up at the end of that sentence. And there we go. So now apparently we need D2, not to be confused with the Mighty Ducks. Which one of you is D2? E1, D1, E2. There's D2. So here's the beautiful side. This is actually white. I don't know if that was clear from the pictures. And it does have the chrome edge. So it's kind of an interesting design that I'll be changing almost immediately. And we laying this out. I'm going to be kind of lazy and use some chairs to prop these things up so I don't have to show all my goodies. What is this? Okay, once it. So we'll go like that. And there's a whole lot of screws that go in this one. 6. Man, the angle is really wonky. Feels like it should be like this, but it is very hard to tell. Yeah, get those tightened up. Scaredy Cat, that's pretty cool. A working coin door. Like that idea. And then we just got all right. Now we got these things. All righty. Okay, the small end down, this across the bottom. Not a lot of room for me to not turn my back to you right now, so apologies. Look at that view. Apologies for the angle of the camera. I'll move this all around in a minute. I don't think you guys want to stare at me ass the whole time. Okay. We having fun yet? Playing home console since 2016. P-Dubs, appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate that. Take it easy on the screwing. Super chat $50 if the claw doesn't work. Well, I'm pretty sure it'll work, at least for a couple times. All right. Let's rotate this a bit so that I don't have to show you my ass the whole time. We got 8 screws here. Where did you go? That's F. There we go. Pretty sure this is what we want, but before I put it on, yes. Got to confirm. Oh, come on. That's interesting. There we go. Whoops, you missed. All right, I'll do that one last. Tighten these other ones down first. Well, that is the... There we go. All right. Here's our box. Might have to leave this up because I want you guys to see the next step as much as we can. I will turn it like this. Because next up is the part everybody is kind of wondering about. And that is our control deck. So you can see here, there's no protector on here, just the silver sticker. You know, you have the exposed screws. There's the control. It's defaulted to normal. Of course, that's already installed. And then we just have these connectors coming out the back. So again, these are going to install with 4 B screws and 2 of our wood dowels. And then we also have this piece. All right. So we're going to feed through all these cables. The first 2 are the mini DINs, like the sound. Looks like the sound, headphone jacks. And then we have our red plug, whatever. And you're going to go there, there. Screw down. So this is fun. One-handed, and I know you guys are getting the great view again, but I didn't anticipate this. Alrighty. Let's bring you over here. There's really only one direction this will go because of the screws, so that's nice. You don't have to worry about putting it on the inside board backwards. And I dropped a screw. Alrighty. Yeah, deduct 6 inches. There you go. Yeah, P-Dubs wanted to troll the chat. Indeed. And the more troll, the more welcome. So that, I guess, is all for this piece for now. So there you go. The control panel. I know that was a question. It's pretty low. So I'll get a measurement later, but you can tell it's down basically at a jean pocket, the bottom of your jean pocket or midway through. I can feel my keys right here. So it's pretty low, but not so low that it's unplayable, because you can see, like, I can easily, the ball's pretty big. It'll be up here. Pretty sizable height. For a kid, I think it's perfect. For an adult, it's probably about 2 inches too low, maybe. I mean, you don't really want it way up here. It's not an arcade game, but down here is a couple inches too low at least. Yeah. So I'm 5'11", not 5'10", so an extra inch, but yeah, it's pretty low. There you go. So move that out of the way. And then we're on to the next fun pieces. So we're on to, our lights for the top, I believe. I will say it seems like it's going together pretty quickly. I don't know about you guys, but it does seem fairly easy. And I'm going to dowel this thing up. Lots of dowels on this one. Well, their picture drawing skills kind of suck. These are like opposite of each other. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, Arcade1up. You don't even know what side the cable's on. Alrighty, then B3, that's you. And all right. We need F and M. This is, so you guys see the up close and personal, the pattern that goes on the bottom of the claw machine. This is pretty ugly, the light blue and the purple. So we'll cover this up with those diamonds, beads, the little crystal things, and some fish tank rock will make this look better. It's very ugly. The question will be is how much room do we actually have to put like rock in there with the ugly look, or the how big the doors are. And then which F. And as people have seen already, our PCB is on the back. It is pre-installed on the back, mounted this way. So there's no, you don't have to mount it yourself or anything, but it is interesting choice to have put the PCB on that back panel. And of course, it's behind this reflective surface. I think we are running out of dowels, so the assembly's got to come together pretty quickly on the top. All right, so we're back to the ye old B screw and D1. So our first door. Here's the door panel, or actually this is just the window panel. And you can see we've got to remove the satisfying sound. However, the internal one, I'm not so sure we can just rip that out without unscrewing the panel. And you can see, hopefully you can see the panel is just held on by screws, just like a typical Arcade1up marquee. And man, when you have let's see if I can want to see if it'll come undone without unscrewing the whole thing. So far, so good. So it does look like, as long as you're careful, you can get this off without undoing the screws on this plexi. But again, it's probably much easier just to undo them. And hopefully I didn't scratch this thing. No residue left behind, so did come off. So you don't have to unscrew it. Probably advised, though, as I mentioned. Let's see here. We're just going to... Oh, that can't be right. This has to be like this. Wait. Just making sure. Yep, that bottom one's to attach to the base, so all good there. Oh, let's see. Looks generic and cheesy. It is generic and cheesy. Hello, Galaga guy. $300 super chat if Darren does it. I don't know what Darren's going to do, but there you go. Looks like we have a $5 super chat from P-Dubs, who appreciates wearing the shoes. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And Glenn thanks you for your service. So thank you very much, P-Dubs, for that super chat. And Console Kits, it says, we playing a game, say weird stuff, and see if James notices. Well, there you go. I don't know if that qualifies for weird or not, but I noticed. All right, this should be interesting. We're on to some of the claw components, or metal pieces, the mechanical stuff. And it doesn't seem like there's a, one piece or the other with these. Is this bag sealed? Oh, just... And these are C, G, E. Where did I put the F screws? Nope, G screws, not F screws. There you go. All right, so I'll just show these off real quick in case you're wondering. So these are the bars. You can see the rubber stoppers, so that's got to be where the claw mechanism can move back and forth and not run into anything. They are just held on there with a couple screws, so probably fairly easy to replace. But there you go. They're both A1s. Looks like the rubber stoppers go horizontally inward, so like this. Boy. Maybe I should have done the inside one first. The claw. Pizza Planet skin. Yeah. Fortunately, the Pizza Planet crane is shaped like a rocket, but still would be very cool. Now, what is going on here? There's our first bit of fun. So I think this is because I knocked this off the table earlier, but I don't know if you can see that, but that is definitely contorted. So that's interesting. I just bent it back into place, but so very, very interesting. And it looks like this will only go one way. So here we go. Might have to put these two on and then bend that one back down. That isn't. Hopefully it just catches and bends itself back into place, because you don't want this thing angled weird, because ow, because it would definitely not move the mechanism correctly if that wasn't in there right. All right, now we've got to install our marquee light. That is going to go feel like there should be. I feel like there should be a dowel there. Indeed, there should. So I must have missed 2 dowels somehow. There we go. We're definitely quickly coming up on it here. Alrighty. So it's got us moving around different pieces quite a bit. Hopefully that doesn't check that up too bad. Ah. This has to go like this. These are K-screws. Come on. Ah. Screw down. These are a little more pesky. Little tiny ass things with not a real good pilot hole. Where are you? Let's make this easier so I can actually see. Those screws feel like just like the plexi screws that on your monitor that hold the plexi in front of the Arcade1up monitors. So not new parts, just reused. And then it wants me to do this. Put that flimsy marquee off to the side. And you can see these are really thin pieces of plexi, not the standard. These are even thinner. Probably 16th of an inch thick on there. You also got they also have one on the marquee itself. That's weird. So it wants us to peel these and then sandwich that marquee between the two plexis, as is obvious. And then there's a clip that's going to hold them in place, like a old plastic poster clip for the really cheap ass posters that people get when they were kids. It doesn't seem to be a front or a back. And it also doesn't seem like it's going to stay on there really great. Oh, that helps if you get both sides in there. Alrighty. Oops. What happened here? Some kind of fingerprint or something got in there. Just take it apart. I don't wonder if it's just how they're pressed together. It's doing that. I don't like that. So this is a interesting, so you can see the clip. You just clip them together and that's your marquee. At least it's somewhat reverse printed. So not a great sign. And then we are going to, it appears, lay this down. Well, that's interesting. Which way does it go? Like this? Man. No screws or nothing, huh? This seems awfully dangerous. Alrighty. So that just balances there. Hopefully it doesn't break. And J, I think, is our plexi piece. Where did I put that? So now we're on to the front window. And I don't know what I did with that towel. I knocked it on the ground. Oh, shit. How much if that falls off the chair? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I don't feel like squatting over for you guys all night, so we're doing the chair thing in hopes that it does not fall off the chair. And the notch goes towards the bottom. All right. And then which screws are these? 2 C screws to screw the plexi onto the base. Now we have our other door. Still no marquee, which is interesting. I just love the peel, and we're gonna have to start this again. This one looks to be in there a lot more than the last one was. There we go. Come on. Just sneak out a little. This one I might have to unscrew it. It's way in there. Dagnabbit. Still can't get in there. There we go. Well, I just need you to go a little further so I can grab on there. So again, safest thing, just unscrew it, but I'm too lazy. That's why we have bellies, is to hold these things on. There we go. Now I lost all the screws. And that's done. The coated door is installed. And now the fun part. All right. The claw. Now, you don't have me undoing this whole thing yet. Looking at the mechanism, there's like these rubber bands here, but they don't show the rubber bands in the directions. So I think you got to remove them and put them back in place. And you leave all this connected. Boy, that's wonky. So here's the control arm. You know, the motor's here. It's very heavy. You can see it's got these rubber bands around here. They don't show them in any of the instructions. We also have the sensor switch there. Looks like we got some padding in there. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see the stuff inside the motor because the casing's still on there, but you can kind of see like that shot that here you go. We had it broken when you can see the wind mechanism right here. And we're leaving these attached until the arm isn't actually installed. But the rubber band thing definitely bothers me. So this is going this direction. It wants me to free the cable, but at the same time, the cable can't be freed. Which cable are you telling me to stick out that hole? This cable. That is pretty pinched in there for now. So we're looking at it like this. Okay, now the question is, do we put these things back on? It's really, really questionable, but I'm going to drop one down in the cabinet. I mean, there's clearly a spot for them. I just don't know if they're supposed to stay on there. It seems like they should, so that they turn each other, but at the same time, it's not clear. It's not in the picture. And since these are IKEA instructions, there is no directions. So now we got to get rid of all this fun stuff. Of course, not that one. Let's see. How are we going to get you out of there? Man, they really got this thing locked in. Alrighty. Our claw is freed. And then this, I guess, just screws down to keep it from popping up. All right. Now, we need to actually have me put the marquee on. Literally like last. So there's actually no top. That's interesting. So the marquee isn't held in there by the top. It just goes in and out. So that's kind of crazy. And then if that's should be on this side. That is to the front. It feels like it's on there. That just slides in, I guess. Interesting. And then so the clips are guides. So it comes with these wiring guides. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Here's one, and here's a couple. And then what did I do with our big screws we need? 4 of the big screws. That's not, those are extra claw. You get extra little claw grabber things. Claw grabber things, that's the technical term. Okay, you said I got 2 of these, so I'm in the wrong bag. I want the end ones. These must have been all extra parts. And it's, again, weird that all the wiring is outside the cab. But we're going like this. Right, it has it. Essentially one here. And then one more of these doohickeys. Right there. So we got our guide wires in. Now the fun part. Now we just tip this thing and put it together. I do so. Hey, I don't want this to do this. So it always screws up the artwork. All right, we're getting really close. Bang it around a bit. So there you go. There's the height. We're getting up in there. Yeah, don't step in it. Looks cool. So now we've got the last 4 screws, plus we have to put a plate on. And interestingly, only 1 plate, unlike the deluxe cabs that have the 2 of these, we only have 1. So that is pretty interesting, if you ask me. So only one side, I guess, needs extra help. And which side is it? It is the opposite side down here. Oh boy. Can't see shit. I'm gonna need a flashlight. At least you guys can't see this. Oh man. We'll say it grabs on a lot easier than the other ones, though. Whew. Crawling around on the floor. And then we have 4 screws that are going to go right here. That's interesting. That doesn't go together very well. It's like bulging right here. Don't know why. There's nothing in there. Just a warping of the thing. Man, we're getting right down to it. We're on to the back screws, so we're almost to where we can connect this all up and plug it in. Seriously. Well, let's not leave my phone in there, shall we? That would not have been good. Last little bit here. Now we need to connect all this crap up. So here we got A and B. That goes A. So these are all labeled for once. So you get stickers that tell you which socket to put it in on the connectors. And then the metal cover to the PCB is actually labeled AB. So you know exactly where you are connecting things up. Makes it nice and easy. And then this mechanism for the claw, and it clips in place. Then we have 1 and 2. 1. Ha ha ha, great. 2 is not long enough. Thanks, Arcade1up. Man, where they told me to put that clip is too taut. So now we gotta. Now we already have to cut it out of there. Guess this is why they gave us extras. Now just connect it up. Still fresh, so fresh. There we go. Then we have our marquee. Ta-da, we're getting down there. Our key is in place. Let's see. So it's definitely shorter than T2 by quite a bit. It's even shorter than the Pac-Man XL, size-wise. The rest of this is... Wait. Oh. Interesting. The rest of these are just the screw cap covers, so I'll do that later. I don't think you guys care about that, do you? And then we just got our plug. Plug. All right. Moment of truth. Whoops. What do I unplug over here? I don't know what this is. Oh, that's a light. I don't need that. I can plug that in. Down here. And turn you back on. All right. I'm seeing sensor lights on. Oh, we forgot a couple pieces. Wasn't even in the instructions there. All right. Before we go too much further, we gotta play with our balls. So not much to these, just little plastic. Looks like they screw together so they don't clip. That is interesting. Well, no, they do just clip. Well, come on. They're very tight. Yeah. So they do just pinch together. They're in there pretty good. That's nice and solid. The question is, how do you get them undone? Wow. Are they supposed to unscrew? Because they don't move. There you go. I guess you give them a good pinch. That's going to wear thin after a while. So let's throw some random crap in here. All right, we put some balls in, if they stay in there. All right, brought the handy dandy, trusty postal scale. It's all right, we zeroed out. So first up, we have a Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. What is it? Frozen Empire. I think this is a drink, not a popcorn thing. Weighs 5 ounces, so let's just chuck that in there. Who doesn't love Mega Man plushies? This is Mega Man is tipping the scales at 10.4 ounces. So above our weight limit. So he's going to take up a lot of room. He's too big. But let's see anyway, shall we? Let's turn this on. We have all right, you can hear that music. Let me know if the music is too loud. And I guess what do we do? Just go up? Yeah, it just moves. You can hear that music's getting faster. And we missed. Now that is definitely makes a lot of noise, so it's noisier than I anticipated. There we go. right up against the glass, so I don't like that. It lets you move too close. Drop him. In a minute, I'm going to take old Mega Man out of there, but what I'm testing is the, let me pull him, because he's just taking up too much room. I want to see if you can double clutch this, and you cannot. So it is a single clutch. Look at that, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh, just like a real claw machine, it falls back in the machine. Obviously, that prize is a little big, but worth seeing. The music is kind of annoying. So let's see if we can get him in there. That plastic bag helps give something to grab onto. I just want to see if he'll fall in that hole. Yay! So, capable of picking up one Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Throw a few more balls in there. Gonna have to go grab something more of an appropriate plush size, since that thing is so big and takes up so much room. And I also clearly need to get this on more level ground. See if I can prop it up a little. Yeah. The problems with living in an area with sinking basements. God, music. That's the lowest volume. It's either off or that. That's annoying. Yeah, you can really see those things moving around in there because of the angle of the floor I have it on. That's very annoying. Trying to get it to where these things aren't all bunched up against the wall in the dead zones. Honestly, first impressions, the claw itself seems a little too big for this machine, just slightly. It should not bang up against the sides like it is. Man, why won't this one go on? That shouldn't happen. It should have plenty of room, and it really doesn't. There we go. That normal mode, so it fell right out. That's pretty good. I don't know how many times it would need to pick that up. Let me go grab something more entertaining than these empty balls. Well, I wonder if the claw broke while I was running around. Yeah, not a fan of the lights turning off while you're playing and the music continuing when you're not. Yeah, the music is annoying. It should do that after you hit the button. Yeah, the music has got to go. Yeah, and the music looks like it died down a little bit now that we're not playing it, but there's no like start button, so it just works. So somebody said Tulsa Arcades has a coin mech to make it work. That seems like a wise mod because the fact that you can just hit it and go is kind of annoying. And as you guys mentioned, that music's annoying. I guess that's the lose music. Let's go. Wonder how much time is there a time limit, I wonder? Or if it doesn't just go and tell you. Yeah, it's the size of the claw for the prize space, not great. It's a little big. Come on, the play area is so tiny, right? Like to be able to get wrapped around one of these things is, I gotta tell you, that's somewhat disappointing. The claw is just too big. I mean, it works, don't get me wrong, but you shouldn't have to. There's just not enough area for it to move around in. You can see these balls. That one's only slightly bigger than the ones that Arcade1up gives you. Come on. So that's interesting. But you can see it's bouncing against the glass. It's bouncing against the side. There we go. Yay. And then dropped the prize. The prize stayed in the bin. So there you go. Still playing the sad you won music. Gio should make an aftermarket claw. Yeah. That looks good. But there, it bounced against the wall because, again, it's letting it get too close to the wall. But I guess that's part of the challenge, right? A lot of time in between these. Boom goes the dynamite. I'm sensing disappointment. No, I like it, Goofy Foot. I just have to figure out what the right size of prize in here is. That I really, honestly, I think like I need to step down the size of the claw. It's oversized for that little area of prizes. You know, like if you were to go back like into this area, this back zone, like I don't know if you could even get something back there because it's going to hit the plexi. See, like you have to go all the way back, and that's so close to the wall, it's going to hit the wall as it goes down. See it bouncing around? That should not do that. It should never touch the sides. And that's just they didn't put the rails. The rails are either too far apart so that it gives it too much room, or the claw's too big. I mean, I like the big claw, but it's just not deep enough to handle all that. And keep in mind, it's on normal, so it should like lose quite a bit. So let's flip this thing to easy, just to make it a... All right, I probably shouldn't use that. I was being lazy. Didn't want to get out the little card. All right, so there it goes. It makes a sound when you switch it over. See how much of a difference this easy mode makes. Like, it should mean we get a full strength grasp every time. Yeah, and so you can see, pick stuff up right away. So that's good, because that kind of shows that the normal mode it was on was performing like it should, and might not necessarily be a space thing. Let's see how it can do against the stuff in the back. Bouncing against the wall. Pretty close. He's pinned back there, so that's not a surprise. Try to grab this ball here. The weight between times is interesting. But so, the control panel is kind of low. It's definitely for an adult. You're looking down on it, which gives you kind of an unfair advantage from real claws. But it's not so low that it's like super uncomfortable. I think it is the perfect height for kids, which is really what I got this for, and myself, but mainly my kids. Come on. Yeah, see, look, it's pressed up against the wall. That should never happen. And then it landed weird. All right, so what do you guys got any questions you want to know about this? Turn off the volume. So I can, one more down and it turns off the volume. Put a turd in there. Yes, I definitely will put a turd in there. Let's see, we've got, James, can you try putting a 1up riser under it? Are the dimensions different? It's definitely thin. Let me grab I'm sure you can probably look up the measurement on the site, but we'll take a measurement anyway since we're right here. So yeah, it's about 17 3/4 for that base. So your standard 1up riser, right, is going to fit something that is almost 20 inches. Some of them even bigger, like, right, the T2 is like 22. How about a Konami riser? I imagine it's the same thing. It's going to be 20 inches. Yep, 20 inches. So the claw is a Slim Katie for sure. Yeah, just about 17 3/4. So that is a Slim Katie claw. And, losing 2.5 inches is a big deal. Like, that takes up a lot of extra space for the prize. And in fact, the back wall here is inset by 3/4 of an inch. So really, and up front, that's a whole inch. So for prize area, you're looking at, you only have 16 inches of prize area, which is kind of, kind of shitty. Having that, having the 16 inches is not a lot of depth, which is probably why this thing is bouncing against the sides. it was designed for, a nearly 20-inch depth so that you have, basically 2 full more inches of space for that claw. So, yeah, that's unfortunate that it is so narrow that they did the Slim Katie design on this thing. Again, probably some bean counter said we can save $1.50 if we make this thing, if we make this thing 17 inches deep, we don't have to pay as much. I will say the box itself seems a little bigger than the normal Arcade1up one, so that's maybe how all the stuff has to go in there. But, so any other questions while we have it up here? It looks like a miniature that they made big. Tall cart, maybe so you can roll it around. Yeah, all you need, like if you're playing with it an adult, if you could get it up, what's that, 3 inches, 4 inches, it'd be a perfect height. Because that's going to get that claw up to here, give you more of a challenge. So yeah, definitely a riser, like a 4-inch riser, or like you said, a furniture cart that lets you roll around. Turn the claw sideways. Here, I'll do you one better. Let's bring this around. Theoretically. Dagnabbit, it's caught on something. Well, yeah, I didn't do that very well, did I? How about you? Can you move? So, yeah, I'll put it back so you have more of a view. So there's the side, right? Hopefully you can see that better, and we'll move it a bit. Uh-oh. Oh, we almost had Flippy. Let's see if we can get him now that he's pulled out a little bit. I think we got him. Oh, he's going to fall out. Nope, we got him. We won a Flippy. Oh. There we go. So that's very interesting. Like I said, it does have a prize sensor or some sort of sensor so that when it drops down, it triggers that flashing light effect. So probably some things you could do there to easily change that light out to do some other things when it falls as opposed to that. Take advantage of that. When Costco has it in XL, you will consider it. Let me... that would be... it definitely would be better as an XL. Just take out the plexi. Yeah, honestly, this probably should come down a little bit. I mean, I realize why they make it this height, because it's to prevent prizes from falling in, make it a little more challenging. Had to leave for a bit. Did it all work? Yes, P-dubs, it's all working. So it's on easy mode right now so that we can actually pick stuff up. Well, provided you actually line it up. Why is it flashing? So that's the flashing is the U1. It would also be playing music, but we got the music turned down. Yep, and so far it's working. I left it alone for a bit. Rotate it around this way so you can see it a little different angle. Get a side, a view of the door. You set the lock with that key. You open it up, and then you can set your set your combination in there. And it does look like, you know, you maybe have an inch of depth if you're going to put something down there to where it won't spill out of the door. I will say it, unlike a real claw machine, there doesn't seem to be a big timer. You can kind of move the thing around as much as you want. I don't see that there's a countdown timer. So, you know, when you think about, you know, a traditional claw machine, you want a little more challenge. You want that thing to where, you know, you have to get it in position in a certain amount of time. And I can see right there, like going for that, it's going to hook the side if I don't move it. There. That should have picked it up. And because we got a stack of prizes in there, that may fall out. No, it didn't. So I am interesting to see, of course, we've all seen the video of that falling out. I'm kind of interested to see if it will actually bounce out with nothing in there. Oh, see? Hit the side. That big ass claw in there. Needs a red box skin so you can fill it with DVDs, indeed. Yeah, skin it as red box, rest in peace. That's funny. Yep, so too many things in there right now. Put an Arcade Mutant League football marquee on it. Yep, maybe there is no timer on the easy setting. Yeah. Dang it, KFB, you're smarter than I am. All right, so we're dropping it. And indeed, it bounced right out. So that's with nothing in it. Let's put a tape measure in it. Let's see, how much does this tape measure weigh? Let's give it some weight. Come on. All right, the tape measure is 5 ounces, roughly, a little less. All right, we're gonna drop it like it picked it up. Bounced right out. So there you go. Another mod would definitely be putting some sort of plexi either on the inside as a flap or on the outside, though inside is probably more realistic. It'd look pretty ugly on the outside. But that would be a good mod. I don't know why the claw machine motor is making noise when I haven't done anything, so that's also interesting. So that may be why people are having issues. When I stepped away, this thing, we haven't obviously touched the joystick in a while. I could hear the motor moving and doing things, even though the claw is stationary. So if it's spinning and pulling on that cable, that could be why things are getting caught. So James hates it. James thinks it's mid. So I don't fully hate it. I think it's got plenty of problems. Or I should say problems, opportunities for improvement, right? Claw's a little too big. The depth is too small. The Slim Katie design on this thing was a bad idea. And I was afraid that was the case from some of the pictures. It looked a little thin. The music is annoying. It seems to be like 3 volumes, really loud, kind of loud, and off. So there doesn't seem to be any in between. But other than that, I actually do kind of like it. So I don't know. Like I said, if I were giving it a score on, out of 10, it's probably a 6. It's not. I don't hate it, even though I hate everything. There are certainly things about it I hate, but it's still it's what I expected somewhat. I am annoyed that the claw bounces on the side. They didn't put the stoppers in the right spot. It should never hit those sides. Those should be dead zones. One, to protect the claw, keep the claw from bashing into stuff, to keep the claw from scratching the back, scratching the plexi. That's bad design. And of course, Kevin Clausen here with this $2 super chat says, "This is a great stream, nice and relaxing. I appreciate that. And you know who else appreciates it?" And I think we may have missed, going back in time, we have a $4.99 super chat from KFB says, "If you take the 1up 50th and just let it fall face first, I'll super chat $50. Yeah, well, you know, is what it is. Screen cracks, I'll make it 100. Yeah, unfortunately, I definitely am not going to do that. But Glenn. So, thanks again. The Atari 50th does suck. That's the second worst cab I own. The Pac-Man Plus is probably the worst. Thought that was real. Nope. It is definitely real. P-Dubs dances all the time, and so does Glenn. Value is his metric and mini. 100 watching. Appreciate everybody watching. And the Sergeant bringing that to our attention. Definitely hit the like button, smash the like button. You know what to do. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe for more building of claws. This is probably the only claw we'll build unless we buy a second-hand one, a real one that more scratches that claw itch. But I can tell my kids are going to love this thing. They're not going to be as nitpicky as I am, of course. It's definitely the right size for them. I mean, it's going to be perfect. So they know it came. Obviously, they're in bed and haven't seen it. So it'll be fun to let them come down and play it tomorrow while we watch the Super Game Room dudes. They can come down and hang out and play some games and win some valuable cash and prizes. It's my best Price is Right girl, routine. One thing I do like is it's a nice flat top, so I can display more toys or something on there. How old are the kids? So I have several kids, but my two youngest are 5 and 3.5. So perfect age for this. My older ones are 17 and older, so they're not going to care too much. But the young ones will love it. They can play with it on Sunday while the Chiefs lose to the Broncos. That is right, Dave. While the Chiefs lose to the Broncos. So the Broncos will hand them, of course, their first defeat because Bo Nix is the fix, as they say. Grab the hat. So we can do that. So I'm not going to take off the hat I'm wearing because I'm sure I am a little sweaty because it's kind of hot down here. There we go. There's the Make Arcade1up Great Again error hat. And it's going to clamp right in there first go. Look at that. Perfect for grabbing Make Arcade1up Great Again hats. Look at that. Boom. Hat has been grabbed. Thanks for dropping by, Sergeant. So who did you vote for? Well, I don't vote for losers, if that tells you anything. Put a clear prize locker on top with a special prize and put a key. Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea, Zero. You could put a nice big fancy prize up there, put, like you said, different keys maybe that unlock it or at least line up to it. That was a first good attempt. Ha ha ha, hell yeah. Thor KC says, let's see, I will say that I think that could scratch the claw itch. I don't hate it either. I just do not have $500 claw machine budget. Don't even have $100 claw machine budget. I hear you. Price wise, it's probably pricey. With how thin it is, little pricey. The claw itself really feels quality. Like it's heavy. It's all metal components on the claw. But let's drop the cable a little bit. It is just a nylon string on the cable, so not a metal string. I know that was a question. Does it have a metal cable? It is not. It is a nylon string. So that is another point of contention. I can see that getting frayed over time and causing an issue there. So might be another project to actually just replace the motor mechanism, because again, the plastic gears on the metal screws is kind of a problem. But some of these things, this is metal, so the piece that actually has the electricity and data information coming across it is in a metal protective sleeve, so that won't get pinched or cut. And obviously we have this rubber around the claw, which will expand a little bit for the wiring there. But again, the cable itself is just a nylon string, so that's disappointing. The shallowness of this also bothered me because I really wanted to put some little shelves in here to maybe put some various generic little like packs of cards or something, things you might get in these little balls, but you really aren't going to have a lot of space to do that. And if the claw is bouncing up against the back like it does, like right now it's resting against the plexi, like that's silly. But if you had little shelves back there, this will easily get snagged on it. So I don't think that's a safe thing to do. So that's disappointing, because that is definitely one of the updates I wanted to do to this thing. Speaking of a pack of cards, I did have some junk I wanted to throw in. So let's load up some of these balls. So first up, we've got Shrinky Dinks. What a wonderful prize. Oh man, these are really tough to get open. Then we have Star Wars Destiny. Some kind of 5 cards and a 20-sided dice. Well, I think if I put that in there, those cards are going to get bent. But shit happens, Star Wars Destiny. Then we have, dang it, a pack of Dragon Ball Z, the card game. Now you are in there, and the piece de resistance, the prize of all prizes, the Arcade's anonymous light up keychain given to me by the great Arcade's anonymous guys out at the Pinball Expo. So there's a fun prize in there, and I think At this point, all the assembled balls have something in it except for one thing. Justin Tucker is clutch. 2120. Damn. What about smaller bubble toys like 25 cents, turn the crank machines that spill out, homies? Could it grab smaller stuff? I definitely think it can grab smaller stuff. I'm trying to find something that I don't mind destroying that is a little smaller, that's like that size. Looking around here. Lord knows I have enough crap laying around. I ought to find something that works like that. Amiibos would be the right size, but they need to be in a sleeve. Here you go. Let's try. This is a little smaller, but it's a different shape. So we're going to take I don't think it's actually in here, but let's take the box from Star Wars Hallmark ornament. Now, one of the things you can do, secret claw tip, is if you take boxes and you want to make them a little easier to grab. Now, thankfully, these have those rubber grips on them, so usually you won't need to do that. But if you have a little larger box, say like a Funko or something like that, and you don't have the grips on there, you just have the raw metal. So if you want to have a challenge to take those grips off, you can put a rubber band around it. That rubber band will give the claw something to grab onto and be able to lift the box. Come on. Ugh. Shouldn't be an issue here, and we're just going to lay it so we can easily pick it up. I don't know, is this like an 8-way joystick, a 4-way gate? Inquiring minds want to know. We missed. Come on. Stay where I can actually pick you up. We're rigging you a bit. We need to see if we can hold you. There we go. Fell out, but as you can see, it'll hold. If you grab it right, it'll definitely hold. So that's a positive. Funko Pops, yep. And the Funko Pops are the right weight limit, so that should be fine. I don't own any Funko Pops in my house. I actually have a couple at work, but none here. Or I'd put one in there. James hates bending over. He does indeed. Let's see. It's really, other than like what I have. So I have a whole bunch of the aliens from Toy Story on order through AliExpress. So that's a great place to get prizes for your claw machine. They're very inexpensive. And they have like 10 different of those little aliens. So you could fill this whole thing up with 1 or 2 of those orders. And then you have lots of stuff in there. Of course, obviously, lots of different size. Was able to pick up a PS5 controller. So that's a good one. Let's try that. I don't want to destroy a PS5 controller. But I do happen to have, a new PS5 controller. So we could put that in there. Let's weigh this thing first. I want to see how much the PS5 controller weighs. Oh, 9.7 ounces. That's going to be perfect. That's going to be fine. Probably don't need all this stuff in the way, though, for this test. Make it easy. We'll just put it in there. All right. We got a good turn. Oh, well, lifted it, but it did fall because it didn't have a good grasp on it. I got too much other things in here. Making it easy. Let's go back a little more. Yeah, so you got to get the right grasp on it, but it definitely has the strength to lift it. I think if we wrapped it up into something it can grab, that actually might get it. Nope. So we could be here all day trying to get this to land just right. That's not going to get it. But as you saw, it can lift the weight. It's just a matter of getting the claw lined up correctly. Yeah, that might do it. Nope. Anyway, done banging that thing around. It's a brand new controller. So 9.7 ounces really isn't much more than the so-called weight limit. I'm sure ball plus prize is 10 ounces or 9 ounces. The ball itself, this is an empty ball. Let's see. Let's do this. It's going to keep rolling around, so we got to be smarter than that. So the ball is 1.7 ounces by itself. So if that tells you guys anything, you're adding basically another 1.5 ounces to anything you throw in there if you put it in the ball. You don't need this in there either. Put Flippy back. Don't let it drop. Yeah, I was going to rush and catch it if it actually picked it up. Is this in normal mode? So this is actually an easy mode, but you got to be a better claw player than I am at an angle. Rubber ducky's cheap. Yeah, absolutely. That's a staple. I would say you don't want the small size rubber ducks like the ones you see on Jeeps and things like that those weirdos do. Haha. Little size up from that would be perfect. Or you could put them in the balls, but what fun is that? The fun would be throwing all those rubber ducks in there and having a heyday. But that would be perfect. Yep, and it is on easy mode. Any other questions? Nerf football would be perfect. I actually have some upstairs, but that's why I brought down like the Dave & Buster's and the other squishy one. The little footballs are perfect. I think if you got a mid-size Nerf one, the ones that are like this, probably a little too big, but the smaller ones, the smallest size would be fantabulous. I brought out the PS5. That's just to this PS5 Pro. I filmed an unboxing for that today. So I plan on editing that tonight and it'll drop sometime tomorrow. So that was just my way of previewing content that is coming soon. So definitely check that out. You'll notice right away, it's got all the extras. It's got the disk drive. It's got the stand. So I go through and show how to attach all that stuff, just in case you haven't seen it before. But I haven't fired it up yet. I haven't got to play it. So I'm interested, once I get that all fired up, put it through its paces, is the PS5 Pro worth the money? And I can tell you right now, the answer is going to be no, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. Can we see scam mode? Sure, but the way I've been playing, it definitely feels like every mode is scam mode. There we go. It's interesting when you change that it lights up like that. Letting you know you've made the change, I guess. I'm going to put the annoying music back on, see if it's any different. Doesn't sound any different. So what's all scam mode should do is basically mean the claw never has strength to pick anything up. Or if it does pick it up, auto drop it when it reaches the top. But I'll tell you, I'm not seeing the typical sensor you would have at the top that triggers an auto open. Normally you would see that switch up there, and I don't see it. Let's just go for this shit. Yeah, see, basically, all scam mode means is not going to have strength to pick up anything. I'm very curious why it whines so much when it gets to the end. I'm going to let it sit here for a minute with that music playing. I know that's annoying, but I want to see if it ever just times out. Because obviously that music's supposed to be giving you that sense of urgency. Yeah. This has been well over 30 seconds at this point. It's still going. So that's really annoying. Anyway, there's what would be a good grab. Yeah. And tried to pick it up, but again, slipped right out because there's no strength to the grab. Any other questions? Yeah, that would be excellent. Turn the sound back off. Was thinking scam mode would do a solid grab. I'm sure it does. Like if you really get it good, it'll lift it up part way. I just got this big ass thing in the way. You know, too many. Trying to get it where it. I got to level this thing. That's the biggest thing right now. Is it not level? All the stuff is moving where I don't want it to move. Bad drop. My Arcade1up Claw skill games are not on tonight. Getting used to this top angled down view is it just bounces it right out of the way. Come on, get out of the way. It's because that claw is so big. It like just bounces into everything and knocks it out of the way. Yeah, this is bigger. Let's see if... There, that should be a good grasp, and it should drop it if... Well, there you go. We won on scam mode. Will we win again on scam mode? Seriously. I thought you weren't supposed to win on scam mode. It is 100% on scam mode. Let me make sure it's not just like I can't move it further. But I thought I moved it as far to the left as it'll go. Yeah, it doesn't go any farther. So that's a question. Because scam mode is not does not seem to work. Like that's 2 for 2. It should be 1 out of 100 or 1,000. Yeah. Whatever. So scam mode is kind of a fail. Yeah, scam mode is a scam. Man, when I want to scam, I want to scam. Yeah, so really I would think long and hard about keeping the rubber things on there. Those just make it so much easier. And if you really want a challenge, you need the bare metal, because the bare metal is going to slide around. But then again, there's not a lot of room in here, so the bare metal may scratch the hell out of things. There you go. Dang it. So, well, it's hard to demo scam mode when I can't even line the thing up correctly. Need that foam to stop the ejection from the prize first. Yep. Actually, speaking of that, I think I think I left a piece you're supposed to take out. Oh no, that's, yeah. Here, shit. I left some of the packing things in there. Well, that's dumb. Maybe that's part of why scam mode doesn't work right. Yeah, that would have prevented it from hitting the trigger. Yeah, now it at least opens like immediately, like it's supposed to, not wait. I remembered seeing the foam pad in there, but I totally forgot about it until one of you guys actually mentioned the foam. God. All right. We're cheating. Well, allegedly cheating. Come on. Scam. Oh boy, scam mode either doesn't work. Like, there's no way it should have picked that up. Like, so to me, it seems like scam mode is, this dial doesn't do anything. So I wonder if something's loose, but it clearly registers it, because when I change the setting, it definitely adjusts, right? Like if I put it to normal. You know, normal was, look at it bouncing around because it's hitting the sides. Wonder if it's wired incorrectly in the That's normal. So one again. That time it didn't fall out. So I don't know. Go figure. This is hilarious to watch. I think he meant the foam where the prize drops. He did. He did mean the foam. Put foam down here so that it absorbs the hit. But saying foam reminded me that there was 2 black pieces of foam up there that I forgot to remove, because you had to cut all those wires and cables to free the claw, and I totally forgot to remove those black pieces of foam. You could watch the claw machine all night. Well, there you go. Well, I don't think I want to move the claw machine all night. So I think, unless there's any other pressing things that you guys want to see, we've been going now for 2.5 hours on this new claw machine. I'm starting to pile up more crap on the top of it than on the inside of it. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think it's definitely an easy build. So hopefully if somebody's watching this in the future and you're trying to figure out what you need to do, it's pretty simple. Haven't had any issues with it yet. It's been working good. I think I'm going to leave it on for getting a little foam piece or fuzz on this. I'm going to leave it on to test this sleep mode for a while. So I'm probably going to go edit that unboxing video, leave this sitting here. We'll just go back to this other view real quick. Leave the claw machine sitting here just in the on state for a bit. See if it goes to sleep and stops working. See if that is indeed what's causing some of these issues that people are reporting about the claw stopping to lower. But so far it's working great from the motor standpoint. Frustrated that it bounces all over inside the thing. Might have to invest in some pads on the sides to keep it from, it's banging against this is going to scratch the hell out of the plexi over time. Probably the same for the artwork, but when it's banging the sides, banging the front, banging the back, that's definitely going to cause damage. That metal scratching against that stuff. But yeah, and I keep like, I think those are air bubbles, not. There must be gaps in how this thing pinches together, because those are definitely air bubbles that shouldn't be there. Weird. Considering it's just a piece of Mylar, it's the way they're pinched together apparently is letting air bubbles form between the little Mylar and the two pieces of plexi. That's really annoying. Probably just need to go in there and squeegee down and it'll be fine. But since it pulls right out, should not be a problem. Very easy replacement for the marquee. So I'll give it that. When you're ready for a new one, it's a quick swap. Not sure why they felt the need to put claw machine on the marquee. Yeah, I mean, in case people thought this was a coin pusher or a Pac-Man, you need to know that it's a claw machine. You reskinning, I am definitely reskinning. I have a couple different ideas first. I have kind of a design with some lights and to test that out first. And depending on how that looks, will determine whether I actually reskin the whole thing or not. I plan on doing things like taking LEDs around some of the more solid lines and tying those in, so when you turn it on, they fire up like around the sides, maybe just the fronts, I don't know. The marquee's an easy replacement. That's definitely going to change because this is just plain and dumb. Then depending on how things look, I'll decide whether to also do the side. I don't like the design that they did. Just these squares in the blue. It is about as basic as you can get. I mean, it is totally fine. But I want something more festive, right? When you see these claw machines, they're usually white or yellow. They want you to know there's a party going on inside here, so give it your money. So this doesn't speak to me like that. This is very techie. Like, this is very not kid festive. It's not the colors. You want big, bright, primary colors when you're talking about toys for kids, not these blacks and blues. These are for older children like us. But I think that's it. I'm going to stop beating a dead horse. I think we're getting pretty late, 10 o'clock. So we've been going over 2.5 hours. Again, smash the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're watching this after the fact, drop a comment below. I'd really like to know what you think about the claw machine. Is this something you are interested in picking up? Again, these are $4.99, and as has been mentioned in the chat, these sold out. The pre-orders sold out. A second shipment arrived a few days ago, so there are more that have shown up. I think it was just like 5 days ago. So they're continuing to ship more and more of these, so they should begin showing up in stores. I've heard that this may be one of the hot toys of the Christmas season. We will see. I'm really interested to see on the issues. We've discussed those. So if you're watching this, know that there has been reported issues with the motor not moving back and forward for brand new. At least there's one person reported that. There's also been issues of the claw not dropping. It tangles. And there is a fix for that. I have another video on the channel if you want to see how to fix that if that occurs. So I'm going to try to get it to do that myself and record a fix as well. But I kind of hope that doesn't happen. But so that's all I have for you guys. I really appreciate everybody dropping by and hanging out with me for the last 2.5 hours as we put this thing together and we put it through its paces. We picked up lots of things when I actually had the skill to pick them up, and when I didn't, we cheated. And so hopefully we got some of your questions answered, tried to give you a look at the different components that make up this claw machine so you could see the quality or suspect quality depending on where you're talking about. So some things are better than others, some things are worse than others. It's like with anything. But that's all I got for you. So as always, until next time, you know what to do.